What is happening, guys? I'm Dan. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, you are seeing this right. Your eyes are not deceiving you. Today, we're reviewing some Michigan craft beer, Bell's Brewery. It's the Christmas Ale in October. You got it. This literally was just dropped into distribution. I know, seems insane, right? It's not. Breweries nowadays, they release things earlier and earlier, especially when they're holiday edition. We see this once a year, every year. Seems like they just have to release these things earlier and earlier into distribution. They don't want to sit on it. It happens with the Oktoberfest beers. It happens with all the allocated items and all the items that you see come and go with high demand. Here we go once again, Christmas Ale. Yes, it's October. I was told once this drops, which it just did this past week, it's not dropping again. So this will be a one-time drop. Anybody who bought it, especially like distributors and retailers, I should say, they're not going to get it again. So once it sells out, it's gone. So we know that these things will sell. So it's October, and hopefully it's still around by Christmas. Not sure it will be, though. There's no guarantee on that. So I feel like I should have reviewed this on the channel before, but I did not. I looked it up. I have no review on this. I've had this several times over the years, but I will be on a Scotch Ale, not my first pick in the group. But I do have a special place for Scotch Ales. I just don't drink them very often. So it's kind of sunny. It's like 60 degrees in northern Michigan. I feel like this is cool enough where I could enjoy a Scotch Ale. This is still the 7.5% ABV version. I think back in the day there used to be a version that was 5.5%, but they have changed it in the many years ago. I don't even think I had that one ever. So this one is a traditional Scotch Ale, rich, malty, notes of caramel, warm finish, certainly to make any occasion festive or at least a bit more bearable. Enjoy with the company of friends and family. So we've learned over the years that Bell's obviously is bought out. It's a bigger corporation now, but they have not changed recipes. That would not be wise. So let's see. I think this will be the same, but it's the same old label we're accustomed to seeing the last few years. Let's get into this one. Best by March 16th, 25. I believe they put 6-month shelf life on these. So this was probably bottled last month. So this is probably less than a month fresh. Doesn't really matter, but it's good that it's under a month. Let's check this out, guys. It's been a long time since I've had the Christmas Ale. Again, it's been around for many years from Bell's. So we'll get it into proper glassware, at least proper Pour Michigan beer glassware, because that's what we're pouring. So it's still cold. You can let these warm up. You'll get a little bit better of flavor on them, but it's right out of the fridge basically, and we're going to just go with it, guys. So looks beautiful. It actually, I was kind of not paying attention when I poured it. Yeah, that lighter, muddy, it's not orange, but it's sort of like a dark brown orange kind of combination. It looks very dark in the glass and muddy again. I think brown, muddy, slight hue of orange is on the docket for this one. You have an off-white / beige head sitting on top, more off-white than beige. And my glass seems to be a little dirty. I don't know. Seems like it's bubbling quite a bit. There's moderate carbonation, moderate to low. But it's actually, it's moderate. It's not like subtle. It's definitely popping up there. And again, that head's kind of fizzling out a little bit. Looks pretty good on camera. A little bit of amber orange in there. Nice, good looking beer, but I'd like to see it in the sun. I wish I had a better view for you guys. It just looks muddy. Let's get in a aroma. So it actually is like a little bit underwhelming. There's nothing that ridiculous about it. It's kind of roasty. It's kind of caramel rich. It smells like a little bit of like tin can as well. There is some, caramel sweetness for sure. I mean, that's the most dominant driver in this beer, it seems. That's not out of the ordinary for a wee heavy. But it's not like it's not like super spicy. There's got this like bready maltiness to this beer. I feel like that's very fitting for this style. It's not going to jump out at you or do anything uncharacteristic that you wouldn't guess. But again, almost like tin can, caramel, malty sweetness, a little bit of biscuit, a little bit of bread, maybe a little bit of rye bread. It smells good. It's just not going to jump out at you. It's not an IPA, guys. Let's go to it. Scotch Ale, Christmas Ale. Cheers to Christmas in October. All right, Bells. And it's super smooth. I mean, it's for a Scotch Ale, guys. It's not like it's this big behemoth. Yes, 7.5%, but when you think about it, their Two Hearted is a malty IPA Mid-American. This is a malty wee heavy. 7.5% smooth caramel sweetness, a little bit of toasted bread, a little bit of rye bread. but really it's smooth. It's a bit roasty, not really. It's got this little subtle nutty factor in it. Almost raisin, but not quite to that level. And, you know, it's not like it's dark fruity, but it's got just a tinge of that. It's more sweet caramel, malty biscuit, bready biscuit, and again, just a touch of honey sweetness. But it's a really smooth, slightly roasted beer. It's not anything that's going to blow your socks off. But if you're just sitting outside in the chilly, cool day like I am, it's pretty good. And it's just kind of a nice, subtle drink to relax. There is a bit of like bitter dryness on the back end. It's just a little bit. It curtails the sweetness a little bit. It ends up being a decently dry finish, but there is still like a little bit of tin can in there. I don't know why, because it's probably just some maltiness playing with my palate because it's not in a can, but it almost gives me the feel that it is, you know, it tastes a little bit like that. But I think it's just the rich, roasty maltiness of this beer kind of playing into the palate for me. But again, caramel sweetness kind of dominant, but not too overbearing. And it's nice on the back end. It finishes decently dry. A little bit chewy, but it's not like over the top. A little bit of roasty richness. And again, caramel sweetness, dominant, the most dominant thing. And again, it gets smoother as you drink it. It's just a nice, easy-going 7.5% Scotch Ale, guys. Again, not going to blow your socks off, but it's a nice, tasty sipper. And it's not like it's 9 or 10%, so it's not going to obliterate you. But one of these will do some good damage. You know, it'll feel good. You'll have a nice little buzz, potentially. Depends what your tolerance is, but 7.5 is solid. And there's a lot of beers a lot bigger than this, but this is a nice treat. Again, rich, kind of nutty, caramel sweetness, a little bit of decadence, kind of roasty. It's just really even kilter all the way through. Really like this one for being a 7.5% Scotch Ale. A little bit of chew to it, but it's not fancy. It's not a fancy beer, but it's not meant to be. I really am enjoying just the drinkability of this at 7.5. And again, the rich, roasty nuttiness. It's not that roasty, but there's this just beautiful malty complex in this beer that makes it just a nice sipper, like I've been saying. Again, not going to blow your socks off, but really nice to drink by yourself or share with somebody else. End of the day, Scotch Ale, not fancy, but not meant to be. So is this a good Scotch Ale? I think so. It's been a dominant one for many years and a good, well-known one for many years. 3.9 out of 5. I think it's really good for that. I mean, 3.9 out of 5 for a 7.5er, guys. It is what it is. The Christmas Ale from Bell's. Get it while you can. You may not get it going into Christmas. So again, it's dropped in October, and this is a new drop. So it is what it is. If you're going to pour a beer, guys, pour Michigan beer, please.